So this is gonna be a very weird video, and obviously I've been crying, which I'll get into right now. So basically, today I had work. It was my third day. I got hired. I guess I won't say where I work, but it was my third day. I haven't really worked for like 2 years. I did work like as a nanny, but obviously like that's it's a little different than like, it's been like 2 years since I worked like a food retail job, you know what I mean? And I got there and like 1 hour in, I just got this like horrible anxiety attack. And I went to the bathroom and I sat there for an hour just like light, just like on the toilet and just like shaking and stuff. And yeah, after that I was lucky my husband was working with me, because he could go up and tell them that I need to go home and like walk me out to my car. And like on my way to my car I couldn't even stop bawling. And basically I have never been one to talk about my mental health, and if I do even upload this, I can promise you it was a struggle for me to upload, because like there's been a lot of videos where I was just talking to the camera and I brought up my mental health, and I always cut it out of a video, because like I don't know what it is, but part of my anxiety is like hiding my anxiety and pretending that like it doesn't exist, and just like suffering alone, which I don't know why, but that's just something I do. Basically I've always had like really bad anxiety. I had my first anxiety attack when I was like really young, maybe like 10. Like it was like in the 5th grade, and then from then on I've always had like really bad anxiety attacks just throughout life. And it's not even like triggered by anything, it's just I just have anxiety attacks. I just get general anxiety, and I'm not gonna lie, it fucking sucks to deal with. And things do, obviously there are things that do like make it worse. Like I cut out like pretty much all caffeine. I never have coffee, which coffee is my favorite drink, so that kind of made me miserable. And like yeah, if I have to poop, it triggers it, because like my stomach starts to hurt, and when my stomach starts to hurt, like the anxiety can correlate with it sometimes and just make it worse. And then yeah, like obviously like going places and doing things, like even like hanging out with a friend I've known for like 8 years will still make me anxious. So yeah, it's kind of miserable, but I just feel really alone, because I feel like everybody talks about having anxiety, but nobody, and people talk about how debilitating like depression can be and stuff, but nobody talks about how debilitating like anxiety can be. Like I've never heard someone say like for instance, like for me especially, like yeah, like everything stresses me out, so like I'll like go to a restaurant to eat and like not be able to eat because I'm having anxiety, or like I can barely watch like anything on TV because if it has throwing up, I have edemophobia, which sucks. And then if it has any type of violence or R word, I got sexually assaulted, so that stuff is super triggering and also triggers my anxiety. So basically everything makes me anxious, and like I said, it's like kind of impossible to deal with. And I always feel like I'm letting people down, because like I want to be able to like be a functioning human being and like have like a good, you know, like marriage and job and go to school, which school stuff hasn't worked out for me either, and it's not because of my anxiety, it's because like school has been just giving me so much trouble. So basically I definitely need professional help, but I don't have money right now. And I don't know if I'll go back to work either, because like it was just a lot. But I just wanted to finally talk about it. Again, I don't even think I'll air this, because like I probably should, because it's like about time I talk about it and be honest about it, but I want to talk more about being sexually assaulted, because I feel like that's a big root of my issue too. Especially like how I said how I can't like watch certain media. I was 15, he was 19, and he was someone I went to church with, and like he came to like my football games at school, and we hung out a lot, and he told me he didn't want to put labels on it, and I was like, okay. And he used to like take me on dates and then like drive to a random alley and park in the car and do stuff that you can imagine, and I would just kind of like lay there, and then during a film festival, film is one of the things I like, yeah, he did it again, and I don't remember everything because your brain kind of protects you, but I remember him, maybe, you know what, I won't say it, it's a bit too triggering maybe, especially for other people, you know, but it was just like a long time of abuse and statutory word that I put up with, and took me 2 years to process that it even happened at that point, because obviously I thought it was fine, but I always kind of hated kissing him and was just like, oh, I'm like in love with him, and it was just like so weird. So, but I'm glad that I finally took the courage to, I eventually got a crush on someone else, so I just moved on, but I just can only imagine if I stayed, you know, but it's not my fault. I just don't know how to deal with it right now, you know, like obviously, like I said, I need help, but I'm just like, what do you do when you can't afford help, you know? So maybe if you guys know some like free resources, free therapy, I need it. Like, it's long overdue. I'm just like, it's just like so tiring feeling this way all the time, you know? And like, part of my head will rationalize it, and I'll be like, Abby, no one is meant to work full-time at a retail job and go to school and maintain a marriage. That's just blasphemy. Like, no one can do that. But then it seems like everybody does do that. And like, I don't know, everybody talks about like mental health, but I feel like I never actually see people struggling, and it's weird. Like, especially from anxiety, like it would just be nice to like see someone just like, okay, that sounds bad, but it would just be nice to see someone on the same page as me, where they're like, yeah, everything makes me anxious and it's really hard to live, but there's hope, or something like that, you know? Like, I think that's just what I need right now. And it's like really almost, it's weirdly almost worse how supportive Gavin is, my husband, because it's just fucking useless. And like, I don't know, like I do a lot for the marriage. Like, I like clean and I cook a lot, and I don't know, I try to take care of him like to the best of my abilities, but I know it was an ugly face I just made. I'm an ugly crier. Like, you see how red my nose is, and like my forehead gets red. See, it wouldn't be better if he wasn't supportive and was just like, well, that's your problem, or stuff like that. Like, it's literally been 3 days and he was like, you can quit, but I was just like, I wanted to work with him. It just sucks too, because everybody's like, oh yeah, your 20s are like the hardest parts of your life because you're just figuring everything out and you have bills and your mental health is so bad and stuff like that. Like, so many people said that, and I'm like, okay, but like, how do you get through it? Like, how do you like get a good job, you know, when like I could barely do an hour a day, you know, and stuff like that. It's just like, it like fucks up everything too. Like, yeah, it fucks up like your sleeping schedule, eating, breathing. And yeah, it's exhausting. I'll probably still be posting videos, and I know people are always like, oh, you can take a break when you want to, but like, trust me when I say that, like, making Halloween videos is like my escape. It's like what makes me happy. So like, cause like I remember like a couple months ago I was like, I'm taking a break from YouTube, and people were really supportive, even though obviously I don't have that many subscribers, but they're like, the people that did respond were like, yeah, take a break. Your mental health is so important, blah, blah. And then when I wasn't posting, I like think I only took a 2-week break. And I was sort of like, okay, I missed posting. Like, this doesn't make me feel better, you know? I just wanted to be honest and say that I'm not doing good, because I feel like I'm very good at putting on a brave face and saying I am doing good and trying to keep things under control and like, I don't know. And I think part of that is because my hobbies are things like this. So when I come to film a YouTube video, I'm happy and like bubbly usually, because that's how I feel when I film. And when I take photos, I look so happy because usually I'm like outdoors somewhere and like my passion is like taking photos, fashion and makeup. So when I do my makeup, put on a cute outfit and take photos, like I genuinely am so happy. So I think that's why when people see me on social media and people see me on my YouTube, they think I'm doing so well and so happy, because I'm happy when I do those things, because those are my hobbies. But yeah, it is crazy when you don't know like what's going on behind the scenes, but I just pretty much assume most people have mental health issues, because like most people do. But yeah, everybody talks about like anxiety, and I just feel like nobody has it as bad as me. And that's like, you know, any nice thoughts or words or encouragement, or like even if you relate, like that actually helps me so much to see people relating or in a similar spot, you know? Usually with anxiety, I have bouts where I'm doing pretty bad and bouts where I'm doing pretty good. But the thing is, when I was having my bad bouts, it has never been this bad, you know? Like, never has like every single thing just like made me anxious, you know? And I honestly think COVID is to blame, like, for a lot of it, because like, I don't know, if you have anxiety and you're just trapped inside your room with your thoughts. And Gavin over here, he's not here, but has a heart transplant and cancer twice and is immunocompromised, and he got COVID and I couldn't see him because at the time we were dating. So we were like quarantining from each other, and I was quarantining from everyone because I wanted to be safe for Gavin. And getting COVID tested. I don't know, just like, obviously all of that is like a different type of anxiety when you're like, oh, there's a worldwide pandemic and people are just dying, like mass amounts of people are dying. It's just like different. And so like I think like I really want to heal from it so bad. And I think I thought like I don't have to wear a mask to work because I got vaccinated. I still do sometimes, but I thought if I go back to work and I don't have to wear a mask at places anymore, and I can, which I still haven't I guess, but figure out my school stuff and just start doing things and start like living my life again, that life would go back to normal. But I guess it just like doesn't work like that. And also I gained like I know like people look at me and they're like, oh, you're skinny, but I did gain a good amount of weight during quarantine. I don't know, it just, and like for the longest time I couldn't get a job, and so I just felt like just like everything was just like making me feel like bad. And like, and last night I was crying too, like I was having a breakdown, but it was more because of school, because I got billed $3,000 for a semester I didn't attend again. So I was like crying because I was like, work is stressing me out and it's only my second day. That was yesterday. Obviously today was my third day and I can't go to school and stuff like that. And he was like, just quit. And I went today and had an anxiety attack. And he's like, just quit. And I'm just like, I don't know. Which I think in the end I know I'm gonna have to quit. But that's just like something that's like fucking hard to come to terms with, because I'm like, if I'm quitting it, I'm quitting. You know, like I'm giving up because of my mental health. And that's like admitting that I can't do something. But I should probably just go and relax a bit more before he comes home. So, cause like I know it's probably gonna stress me out a bit, but yeah, I'm just exhausted, and I know a lot of people are going through shit, so you know, it does get better. Hopefully. No, I know, but I just so badly wanted to tell myself that I could do it, you know. I don't want to give up, but you know, I guess I'll probably need to start like working on myself and like doing stuff, you know.